Oh, hello. In 2019, I visited the Eastern State Penitentiary located in the Fairmount section of Philadelphia. The penitentiary is a fascinating place to explore. It was in use for over 140 years until it was closed in 1971. Its crumbling walls and empty guard towers attract more than 200,000 tourists every single year. In this video, I want to show you some of the prison, and I want to share with you a few facts that I find interesting. When you enter the prison grounds, you're handed a headset for an audio tour, narrated by America's own Steve Buscemi. I know, I thought it was kind of weird that he was the narrator, but of course he does an excellent job. He guides you throughout the prison in a sequence, but if you want to wander around, you can discover things as you go along as well. This prison was once the most famous and expensive prisons in the world. Built in 1829, it is considered to be the world's first true penitentiary and was intentionally designed to inspire penitence or true regret in the hearts of prisoners. Each cell has a skylight representing the eye of God to suggest to the prisoners that God was ever watchful. They would be kept alone in their cells to work, read the Bible, contemplate their crimes. I would imagine all I could think about would be escape. An escape attempt in 1945 by famed bank robber Willie Sutton, who is known to wear disguises during his robberies, had attempted to escape with a group of 12 inmates, each of whom took turns digging out the tunnel with spoons and flattened cans. They opened a hole in cell number 68, then they dug 12 feet straight down into the ground and out to the street more than 100 feet away. They removed the dirt by putting it in their pockets and scattering it in the prison yard. Unfortunately for Sutton and the gang, they were nabbed almost immediately after escaping. So the prison sets up interesting displays throughout your journey. This one showing collections of specimens collected by prisoners in solitary confinement. Greg Cowper, the curator of this collection, has on display over 500 specimens of insects and a variety of curiosities. Here we see a polypore bracket fungi, some butterflies, a photo of a large black rat snake, and the mummified remains of a cat. I don't believe this cat belonged to an inmate. I think it was just found during the renovation. A variety of bug collections. So let's continue on down the hall towards the center of the prison. It's one of the most fascinating pieces for me. The way the prison was designed, it has a wagon wheel design, and the circle on the ground being the center of that wagon wheel. This is what's known as a Panopticon. It allows for surveillance from few guards. One guard can stand in the center and look down and communicate with each guard down every single hallway. So it allows for surveillance from few guards. You can see clearly down each hallway.
Yeah, because they did not. Aaron, oh
Now,
yes.
visiting, you can't visit all hallways. There are some sections that are in very poor disrepair. The prison closed in 1971 and stood vacant for almost 20 years before being opened up. In that time, trees and brush grew all over the inside, and the building began to just degrade further. So let's head back to the center of the wagon wheel. At this point, you can decide to go down any hallway you desire. Let's go down this one. This hallway is the infirmary. Here's a close-up photo of the red cross on the gate. I just think it's really cool. In this area, scenes were shot for the 1995 film 12 Monkeys with Bruce Willis and Brad Pitt. Excellent film. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely check it out. So the first time I came to this place was during the yearly Terror Behind the Walls Halloween activities. Now, I wasn't too scared about creepy hallways or hauntings or people dressed up. No, I was more worried about the contract I had to sign before I was allowed to enter that basically said that I would not be able to sue if a piece of the building just happened to fall on me. I remember very specifically it saying something to the effect of if a piece of the ceiling were to happen to fall on my head. And as you can see, there is a lot of potential for pieces of the building to fall on a visitor, such as this ceiling right here, which has fallen. So let's head outside to the prison grounds and the exercise yards. There's a baseball field. But you can't help but notice the massive 30-foot walls that surround the prison. Here we have a small exercise yard for those in solitary confinement. They would come through this little door and then have a little bit of time out in some fresh air. So the prison has such a interesting history, and I have not even begun to scratch the surface of that history. I encourage you to look into it a little bit, read more in depth, because it is very fascinating. I hope you enjoyed this footage, and I hope you have a great day.